I am in the Africatown neighborhood, and it is north of Mobile, Alabama, about 3 miles north of downtown Mobile. And the Africatown neighborhood is also called Plateau. And it was here in this neighborhood where in 1860 there were a multitude of slaves that were transported to this part of Mobile, primarily from West Africa, and they were smuggled into Mobile on a ship called the Clotilda, which is a slave ship. And during that time, you know, slavery was outlawed, and so they were smuggled in illegally, of course. As you can see right over here, this is the Old Plateau Africatown Cemetery, which was established in 1876. And there goes the cemetery over here. And here's the marker commemorating the Old Plateau Cemetery graveyard for Africatown. And this is just the resting place for a multitude of enslaved Africans, African Americans, and a Buffalo Soldier. The burial ground dates back to 1876, 16 years after Africans arrived on the Clotilda, which was one of the last documented slave ships to leave Africa for the Americas. The northern area of the graveyard is the older section where the remains of Clotilda survivors have been found through an archaeological preservation project directed by the College of William and Mary. The historic annals of Africatown are chiseled upon tombstones in this graveyard. So again, you know, this area was established primarily by the slaves who were brought over here, again, illegally, but they managed to find a way to make use of it because they end up ultimately establishing a community and a neighborhood, you know. And as far as we know, there still may be like descendants of those slaves still living, possibly here in Mobile. Over here in Africatown, and right here is the historic Union Missionary Baptist Church. And this is a landmark that was built in 1869. And as you can see right here, it's a marker for the church, which was organized in 1869 as the Old Landmark Baptist Church by Reverend Henry McCrae and the following survivors of the slave ship Clotilda, which was Polly Allen, Rose Allen, Katie Cooper, Anna Keeby, Alza Keeby, Josephina Lee, Peter Lee, Charles Lewis, Celia Lewis, Cujo Lewis, Zuma Livingstone, and Clara Turner. The first pastor was Henry Watson. The church evolved from historic Stone Street Baptist Church and was built on the location known as the Praying Ground. In 1903, it was renamed Union Baptist Church. A sanctuary was constructed in 1918 and served as the first school for Magazine Point, presently known as Africatown. The African roots continue to nourish the spirit of this community. This is the African American Heritage Trail of Mobile. And here's just a list of all the founders of the Union Baptist Church. So again, all of these slaves, they ultimately created a community away from their homeland, and ultimately the church became one of the staples and a safe haven for the community of Africatown, which again at that time was called Magazine Point. This old building right here is called the Shell Bayou Lounge 361. So they had a lodge right here, which was organized in 1923. So now the street that I'm on is Africatown Boulevard. It's located near I-10 and I-165 ramp. And again, it's not far from downtown Mobile. Yeah, but check this out. Here's a mural right here. It has Peter Lee, an image of Peter Lee, who again was one of the founding members of Union Missionary Church. And here goes like a family tree right here of Peter and Josephine Lee. And it looks like a family tree of their kids and their grandchildren. So that's nice. I like the design. It has the clouds right here, and it also has what looks like the river. This is a very historic neighborhood of Mobile. And again, here goes Cujo Lewis and the voyage of the Clotilda. And here is the slave ship of Clotilda, who illicitly bought all these slaves from West Africa. So it arrived between 1859 and 1860, 110 souls. So again, really nice design. Abandoned building right there. And that over there, I don't know if you guys can see it, but over there is the Africatown Bridge, where you see all these cars coming from. They are crossing that Africatown Bridge. It looks like a cable-stayed bridge that stands over the Mobile River. So that bridge leads right into Africatown. But that in a nutshell sums up the Africatown neighborhood. So stay tuned for more footage. P.S. I didn't see a name on the mural, so I had to Google it, and the artist is actually a brother by the name of LeBaron Lewis, who I presume is, based on his last name, is one of the descendants of Peter Lee Lewis. So I'm not, or excuse me, not Peter Lee Lewis, but Cujo Lewis. So LeBaron Jones is the artist of this beautiful mural. I just wanted to get that in there. This here is the historic Oakleigh House, which is a 1833 Greek Revival style home built by Virginian James W. Roper. Oakleigh has been owned by many different families, each of them working and making their own changes to the property. And as you can see over here, this is the property. Again, it was built in 1833 by James Roper, and it was named for all the oak trees surrounding the home. And this home was built on land that was courtesy of a Spanish land grant. So this is just another one of Mobile's historic buildings. Again, this is the Oakleigh Mansion. This right here is the Bragg Mitchell Mansion, which was built for Judge John Bragg in 1855. The supervising architect was Thomas James. After 1880, it was owned by Pratt, Upham, and Frank Davis families. Acquired 1925 by A.S. Mitchells, who restored the house and lived here for 40 years. So again, this is the Bragg Mitchell Mansion, built in 1855, and yet another antebellum structure historically located here in Mobile. This stadium right here, opened in 1948, is Ladd Peebles Memorial Stadium, and it is now 76 years old, so it is super old, but it is still in use to this day. Now the Senior Bowl is hosted at Ladd Peebles Stadium, and it used to be the home of the Lending Tree Bowl and the University of South Alabama's Jaguars football team. But they since moved to a stadium on campus that was constructed for them a few years back, called the Hancock Whitney Stadium. But this is Ladd Peebles Stadium right here in Mobile, which now has a seating capacity of 33,471. So it was also used for high school football games, graduations, and boxing matches and concerts. So it served as a multi-purpose stadium. I'm over here in Sangan Park, located in the Spring Hill portion of the city of Mobile. Sangan Park is a public park that is 720 acres big, opened in 1957 and named for a former mayor and state senator and city commissioner of Alabama by the name of Joseph Langan. Now this park also is the location of multiple sites, such as the Mobile Botanical Gardens, the Mobile Museum of Art. It has a golf course, and yeah, those are just a few of the major sites that are on the premises of Sangan Park. So you can see right here, it's a stream and floats into that lake over there. Has a nice little walking trail around. Has a nice walking trail around the park as well. There's a playground, of course. Just an overall chill place to hang out, have family functions and events, all those different things. It's also a good place to go fishing. A nice little sculpture right here. 3 children. Check this out. Sheet music for Bingo and Rockabye Baby. Nice. It's also right here a wooden bridge This wooden bridge goes across this lake, as you can see. I guess it's really more like a pond. It looks more like a pond than a lake. So I see some ducks out there as well. I believe this might be the museum. Not sure. But what I do know, this right here is a stainless steel sculpture. Nice. Don't see any information on it, but yes, this is the Mobile Museum of Art. So the Mobile Museum of Art is again on the campus of Sangan Park. It's a nicely architected building as well. It looks relatively modern. I'm just going to capture some of the sculptures that are surrounding the building. This is nice. It's a multicolored abstract sculpture. It's all type of different shapes and designs on it, but it's nice. It's really cool. Art is all about expression and interpretation, so that art piece can be interpreted in so many different ways. Nice sculpture of a young lady right there, kneeling. This is dope, man. Nice pieces of art. So definitely come check out Sangan Park if you're into arts and art exhibits. Mobile Museum of Art is right on the premises of Sangan Park, and outside of the Mobile Museum of Art are also these beautiful sculptures. On the campus of the University of South Alabama, created in 1963 by the Alabama legislature. And specifically on the campus, I am over here outside of the Hancock Whitney Stadium, which is home to the University of South Alabama Jaguars football team. And this was a much needed replacement for Ladd-Peebles Stadium, which has been aging severely over the course of forever now. This stadium actually opened in 2020, but that was the year of C-19, so it wasn't until 2021 where the Jags played their first game here at the stadium. And outside is the statue of the mascot, the Jaguars mascot right here, sporting a red, white, and blue Jaguars jersey. And they even have a stadium store, so you can get all your Jaguar gear. And not only do they have the stadium right here, they also have a training facility right next to the stadium. You can see right here, this is inside the stadium. Actually looks nice from over here. But over there in that building is the athletic center, where I could hear now the football team is training and getting ready for the upcoming football season. So it won't be too much longer before this stadium opens back up for football season for the 2024 season. Hancock Whitney Stadium. Hey guys, I'm at the USS Alabama Battleship Memorial Park, right on the submarine on the Mobile Bay. And this is where I will conclude the Mobile vlog. It was a cool visit in Mobile, Alabama. This is overall my second visit to Mobile, so I'm glad I came back, and it was a really great tour. With that in mind, guys, please hit that like and subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and continue checking out more of my content as we continue to grow. All right, until next time, you guys, peace and have a great day.